Hello, good evening, and welcome to Psychic Talk. I'm your host, Priscilla Gendron, and welcome to a very unusual Durban. Our weather's been up and down. One minute it's been pouring with rain and flooding, and the next minute is full of sunshine and blue skies. So I think half the world is going crazy with the weather at the moment. But welcome anyway. Joining me today is an amazing lady who I've had the pleasure of knowing for a few years. I met her a couple of years ago when I started the WLC, and she was one of my speakers. And I found her life and her journey so inspiring that I thought, well, I've got to have her back on the show and have a chat with her. So it gives me great honor to welcome Eva Hunt. Welcome, Eva.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Oh, it's really a pleasure to have you here. So what I wanted to just sort of delve into, I not maybe people don't know who you are on this side of the world. Maybe some people have seen the video from the WLC, but just to sort of like give a recap. I could go on and say to you, this is who she is and this is what she does, but I feel like it best comes from the person that is the person that's lived her story. So maybe just in your own words, would you like to just tell us a little bit about who you are and where you're from? Not really what you do, but just, your journey.
Yes, of course. I am a healer, a coach. I work with energy, and I originally come from Hungary. I have been in the UK for 17 years, and this is my adopted country, and I absolutely love it here. And in terms of who I am a multi-passionate creative. I have so many interests. Some of them are hobbies, some of them are part of my work. I am interested in so many amazing mystical things, and I am so lucky that it can be part of my work life as well.
It is. It's exciting. I think that once we go down what I call, once you go down the rabbit hole, you can't come back up again. It's kind of like it takes a life of its own.
Yeah, I agree with that because my life in Hungary was more about living in the physical world. I have a university degree. I am a commercial economist, and when I answered the calling to come abroad, then I found my true calling, my purpose, and that is this word which is kind of not so tangible. And so I am feeling so grateful and appreciative of being able to experience this.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's quite a huge leap from being an economist to a healer. That's huge. That's like, completely redefining your life.
Yeah, it is a very big leap. And the reason why I changed in the direction so much, because I felt depressed. So when I came over to the UK, it was really hard work to live in my second language, and my English wasn't as good as at the moment. And so I felt so much pressure to deliver, to be who I am, but I couldn't use my university degree here. And I, to be honest, really didn't want to. And because I pushed so hard, I felt depressed. And that was almost like a blessing. I could use it as a stepping stone, because when I felt depressed, it's almost like my abilities, my gifts started to come to life, to come
Yes.
out of that depression. And I was drawn to Reiki, to learn Reiki healing. And that's how I started my business in holistic healing in 2010, to serve mainly ladies, clients, with hands-on healing and coaching.
Yes.
So that's how my story started in this area.
And that's an amazing, because I also I'm a psychic medium, but also I'm also a Reiki master. So I understand that journey of when you're stepping into all the different aspects of healing. Reiki is one of the more popular ones that people sort of step into.
Yes.
How did you find that sort of helped your life?
Sorry, that helped what? I didn't catch what you said.
How did it sort of help your life or influence your life?
Oh, when I learned Reiki, it was quite an interesting journey, because I went to a Reiki master, obviously, to learn it. And she told me that I have amazing abilities. And I thought, like, really? Because I had no idea. And so Reiki really taught me to look within and to discover my abilities in depth. Because when I started learning, I realized different connections, like I could sense the energy of another person. I could start sensing the spirit world and angels, different energies. And it was like, oh my God, I didn't know I am capable of doing this. And as you mentioned earlier, this Reiki door, when it opened so many avenues for me, so many healing modalities were calling to me, like crystal healing, color therapy. Also, I started to learn first Qigong, a self-healing art, and then I started teaching it. So it was really like the entrance door, and till this
Yes.
day, it's always there. I can always fall back on that. And I feel that there is more and more need for
Yes.
healing, even if it's
I
distant
felt the same
healing.
way. Yeah, definitely. I felt the same way. I mean, I was doing my psychic readings and things like that. But when I stepped into the healing side of things, it really just opened it up even more. And it opened up
Yeah,
so many different avenues, as you say, because the healing is not just that. It's just like it's a door that opens to a whole new world and a whole new way of doing things. And you're right. You've got the healing, you've got the crystals, you've got the intuitive side. And you just sort of embrace that quite intensely.
absolutely. I have to say, at one point, it was really confusing, because my mind was set to, like, I need to have a main path, and I am drawn to so many different things. Why is it happening? And I went actually to a psychic, and at that point, I didn't trust myself so much, and I asked, what should I be doing? What should I be focusing on? And they said, well, pick one, and the rest need to be your hobbies. But I felt from inside that's
Mm.
not who I am. And I thought, I don't know how, but I am going to keep all of the facets. And I just felt there will be a time when it will all make sense. I just need to keep going forward, if it makes sense.
Yes, exactly. It's like taking little morsels of everything, and then you're making it into a cohesive platform for yourself. Whereas
Yes.
you've got just so instead of it just being Reiki or just being crystals, you took a little bit of everything and you formed your own healing system, which I think is what's
Absolutely.
important.
Absolutely. Until COVID hit. So I started my business in holistic healing in 2010, and COVID came in 2020. So the first 10 years was for me about hands-on healing,
Yes,
in-person healing and coaching. And that allowed me to bring three areas together: the Reiki healing, the law of attraction coaching, and the spiritual guidance, because I realized that my clients really were very much drawn to the, let's say, the invisible world, the spirit universe, just they didn't know how to tap into that. And I was like a middleman, helping them to receive answers, and it helped on their healing journey. So every part of my journey, this side of being a healer, an intuitive, was such an amazing adventure. And I don't know exactly what I learned from being the commercial economist and then became the mystic. But what I do know is I can relate to so many different people, different levels they are at, opening to the spiritual world or just need some healing. So it's definitely an advantage to see the full scale in my own life and in my own experience.
very much so. Yeah, because sometimes when you're going down this and you've come from a very structured environment, like being an economist is very structured and very real world in a sense, and suddenly you're stepping into this different realm where a lot of people, you say, oh, you're very airy fairy, or you're a witch, or
Yes,
things like that. Whereas
yes,
you have you lost touch with reality. She's got woo woo syndrome, and I
yes.
feel like for you, it's like, how did you feel like you had to shift? As you say, you were quite there was that anxiety about it, about the shift.
Yes, it was bringing up lots of fears in me, and some of them were subconscious fears because, as you say, people call you a witch and will make you feel like you are the odd one out and you don't do the right thing or don't belong here. Or there were some cases when I got a suggestion to go to see a psychologist because I belong to a mental institute. So there were horrid experiences, but it didn't stop me because I felt that there is so much more to me and to the world, and I really honestly felt this is my mission. And what I also discovered, and this changed absolutely everything in regards to my path, that I obviously started channeling Reiki when I was learning it and using it to help other people heal. And then I became an artist in 2015. And it was a journey of, I just liked drawing, but I didn't allow myself to do it when I was a teenager because I was taught by my parents to go more on the path, which was, like followed by many people. So I wasn't allowed to come off. My dad used to say that artists die of hunger, so I couldn't explore
Yeah.
that area. But when I came over, I gave it a go, and people started buying my artworks because they are like energy art and it's emotionally moving. So that became a very important part of my journey, and I realized that I am channeling my artworks from spirit. So you can't see in my artworks a certain style. This is very eclectic, but it always comes from spirit for a reason. And so I started to put together the puzzle pieces, like I am channeling Reiki, I am channeling artworks, and this reading, intuitive side, where I actually dared to step out to the limelight, came the latest stage. And I was like not aware how integrated it was in me and how much I am already using this ability to channel from spirit, that you possibly will laugh at me, but I'm going to share this story with you. When COVID hit, I obviously lost my complete income because I couldn't function anymore as a hands-on Reiki healer or see people in person, and I was focused on the local market. So I felt the need to help people online because that was the only way, as you know,
Yeah.
to connect with people. And I also felt the need to shift my business online because anyway, I wouldn't be able to earn money. So I thought, well, this psychic ability I've got, these inner gifts, would be very good way to start being seen online. And so I decided I will help couples with love readings who were cut apart because of the lockdown or were they had to be together 24/7 because they were
Yeah.
locked down together. So it seemed to be very popular, and very soon I got more than 5,000 subscribers, and now I've got 8,800, which I'm very proud of. But where I am heading with this, before I took the courage to step out to the limelight, I wanted to test myself because I was kind of expecting that this psychic connection, when I am reading for someone online, it will be like something like an alarm goes off in my head, or it
Yes.
says we are on air, or somehow I will be able to feel that I am in that space to help others to channel for them. And of course, it didn't happen. So I signed up to a website where I could do readings for free in return for ratings. So they had to rate every reader. Like 5-star was the best and 1-star was the worst. And I decided I'm going to go on this platform. I will sign up for 10 readings. And if it's going to be I am very good at it, I will have the courage to show up online and offer readings. And out of the 10, only 9 feedback arrived. And there was one which was 2 stars because there was a misunderstanding somehow between us, because it was like via email, no photos, nothing, just received the question and I needed to do the reading from that. So the other 8 were 5 stars. And I thought, okay, so it's working. I
8
don't
out of
know.
10 is not bad.
Yeah, it's like I don't know these people. They are at the other end of the earth, and I still could do it. So I proved to myself that I have the talent. Just it was really hard to actually
Yes,
step out with this. Very
exactly. And so
sorry.
sort of like in terms of the intuitive readings and stuff, what do you do? Do you use your intuition or do you use tools? How do you sort of present the reading or session?
I do use tools. I mainly work with cards, oracle decks, and tarot decks. And I also am, as possibly most of your audience knows, these are tools, as you mentioned. So the channeling
Yes,
comes with the cards, and the same card could show up in different readings with slightly different meanings or different channeling. And because I am doing it for so long now, all of my psychic senses kick in. So sometimes I receive some messages with the card in the form of a picture, or I hear some messages
yes.
coming through. So it's really fascinating, and it's the main way I am doing cards, and the channeling comes with them.
And then you add on top of that the healing aspect as well, because with Reiki, as you know, it can be distance healing as well. So you can offer the person that aspect as well.
Yes, what I sometimes do, I offer a completely combined session. So as you mentioned, it can be spiritual guidance through the reading,
Mhm.
mixed with healing through distant Reiki and online coaching, which brings in the either the energy coaching or the law of attraction aspect. So I go intuitively about everything. I sense the other person's energy. I listen to them, what they feel they need. And then I will go with spirit's guidance based on my intuition and their information that I am receiving about them through words. And of course, it then turns into reading their energy. And so it's very fascinating how it works. And my clients do enjoy this variety. Some of them trust more of things which are not so much scientific, but it's better for the mind, and others are really very spiritual and we can go really deep with them. So I enjoy both, and my clients too.
Yeah. I know. Also, I started off my career with doing that, as you say, physical hands-on readings, and then I went into the Reiki and became a Reiki master and teacher. And it is different when you have to take it online. So, how did you find that um, your gift shifted or changed when you took it online? How did you find you had to adapt in a sense?
Well, it was quite scary, to be honest, at the beginning. It was like my psychic senses got much more alive and much stronger as I came online. But I also realized that I had a fear of doing Reiki healing online. So it was
Yes.
like, will it really work? Will it really go through? How will it show up when I am starting doing that? So I took baby steps in the Reiki distant
Mm.
healing area, and I constantly was watching my clients and their feedback, and it was really positive. So it was difficult to shift from the hands-on aspect to the online in the healing more than in the reading, the psychic reading area. And now I do them very easily, and I just wish I always could do this because energetically it's less demanding, I find, to work online. So that's another positive, because when, as you know, Priscilla, when you are in the presence of your client, then we need to use certain ways to protect our energy and create the right energetic environment. Of course, when you connect online, you still need certain way of protection, but because readers are usually very sensitive energetically, I find it so much easier, much more flowing than doing it in person.
Yeah, very much so. I found the same thing and it was quite strange to sort of have to take it online. But I think once you take it online, you think, oh, why didn't I do this years ago? Because it feels like the energy just flows a lot more easily.
Exactly. And you know what I also found? That I love working with the minority of people, which, I mean, like, I've got this shirt on limited edition. People who are not weirdos. I don't call them weirdos anymore. I call them limited edition, because
Limited edition. I like it.
I realized, yeah, I realized that my work is mainly focused on misfits. So people who are empaths, sensitive intuitives, maybe light workers, those who have a very different set of energy setting or skills and energy setting than most of the people. And going online actually gave me the opportunity to connect with people, with this minority from all over the world. So I do work with Americans, people from Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and this is also boosting my business, because in the local market to find these people, or some of them, is really very difficult. But online allowed me to really expand geographically and find those who need my help. And the YouTube channel which I am running is really helping with that, because it has a very big reach, and through that people come ask for readings, and then I can help them with coaching or healing or whatever else they need. So this is a very abundant marketplace, if we can call it like that, becoming a healer, a coach, a teacher, a psychic online.
Yeah, because I think once you start, you're just adding another string to the bow, and you're just adding another gift and ability to make it this cohesive product that you put out to the world, because you're a product. It's kind of like you have to, it's about selling yourself and your gifts and abilities. And I was sharing with you earlier on about having to do a show and then cancel because of what happened with the pandemic, and having to take everything online. And I didn't know a lot about the stuff online. And, it took me, I think, 3 months with the help of 2 other people to get everything, to find the exhibitors, to find the speakers, to do a 3-day event, which we did. And it was just so incredible how that whole event grew over a span of 2 years during the whole pandemic time. We ended up with, I think, 300 speakers from 19 countries. And I sat back the one day and I thought, wow, if I hadn't have gone through this, if this hadn't have happened to us, I would never have met people like yourself, or, people from Peru and people from Australia, New Zealand, Canada, America, so many different countries, 19 different countries. And it was like, wow. I almost felt like a little stalker, because I used to stalk the internet and stalk LinkedIn, and finding the right kind of people to come on the event. And it was an amazing journey, because it also took me out of my comfort zone. It's not that I didn't know how to talk or communicate or get my point across, because I'd been doing readings and healings for a long time and teaching. But, when you have to go in, and it's almost like cold calling, when you go and work for a sales company and you've got to do cold calling. And that's what it was like. I had to do cold calling for my event.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was
absolutely. I understand. But it's amazing what you achieved. And this is the magic of the online work, that you, as you
yes,
mentioned, find the people who you need. And also, I want to add to this because I am quite practiced in putting together things online, because I did design static websites before, and I used to be a graphic designer. So this artistic part of me helped me
yes,
to create my online presence. And now what I am working on and already offering to the public is to bring those 10 years of working in person to online in the form of courses, online courses. And also I opened the doors to a membership, which is a huge library of online videos and knowledge and tools. And it is coupled with a Facebook private group. And there are 3 different levels. So people can tap into that amazing knowledge, wisdom, experience that I gathered during the 10 years. And it's now open, and I am so proud I managed to do this. It was a long time coming, and I
yes,
plan to add to it every month with healing sessions for groups, group healing and group reading, and master classes every month, depending on which level of the membership people enter. So that's also something that you can't really do or offer to so many people if you are not working online.
exactly. And it opens it up to a whole different, as you say, it opens it up to the world, not just the people in your 10 square miles of where you live.
Yes, absolutely.
So, and I'm incredibly proud to share this space with you, because it is difficult sometimes to get out of our comfort zone and to really just embrace life and embrace who we are as people. Where you've come from to where you are now, it's a huge, huge big change. It's night and day almost.
Oh, absolutely. It is a fantastic journey, and sometimes I do feel like I lived 3 lifetimes in this one already, and I don't know whether there will be a fourth one, because I was born into the communist Hungary. That was one kind of lifetime, and then we opened up to the capitalist West world when the Iron Curtain fell, and then I left my country when I was 35 to come abroad and start a new life. And then I became someone who is walking her spiritual path and also helping others. So it's absolutely fantastic, and I I can't say how grateful I am to
Yeah.
my own I don't know, to the universe, to source, whoever that is there, and also the ability that I am awake. I am walking this
Yes.
earth now with this spiritual awakening. And for anyone who is scared of what's coming after that, I can
Yeah.
just go, this is amazing. Not always, because there are lots of difficulties when we are awakened, but it's all worth it. It's just so worth it.
Exactly. Definitely it is. And once you're awake and you can't unknow or
Yes,
go back to
yes,
sleep again. And it drives you forward, and I think that, sometimes you have to come from a very base human place in order to find your spirituality, in order for you to have your awakening. Because if you just came into it, you wouldn't have had the same aha moment or the same journey as if you had from the one that you had now. So it is difficult sometimes when you come from something like it and you think, I can't believe I lived that life and now I'm living this life. The two don't mix at all. It's like oil and water.
exactly, exactly. And I came very far from my native country, and at the beginning it was very challenging just to get used to a new country, because Hungarians are very connected to their family. And it's for us, I know
Yes.
for other people as well must be, but especially for Hungarians it's very difficult to start a new life in a different country. And I went through all of that, and it really made me stronger. So I am so delighted, and I possibly will go back to visit my country as I usually do. But I love the life here. It's such a different feeling. It's like more freedom, especially for women in the UK compared to Hungary. And it's just something that means a lot to me, that I can be who I am without most limitations, I would say.
Yes, exactly. So how was it with your family, and have they had like an acceptance of what you do, or is it still a little bit of a touchy subject?
Well, it is a difficult subject
Mm.
because my family don't understand the full depth of what I am doing. And to be honest, I am being very cautious what I am sharing with them, because I do believe that we can only understand the level of spirituality where we are at. And I I just feel it's easier sometimes to say I am a life coach rather than I am doing spiritual readings. And unfortunately, my dad passed away in 2021, but he was the one who was very much against me becoming an artist. And yet I was becoming one. And then he kind of became a bit proud of me. So
Yes.
it's not straightforward, but I don't
No.
advertise to my family what I truly do.
Yeah, I was like that for many years myself. I mean, of course, my family kind of knew what I did, but and even to people around me, I used to always say the same. I'm a life coach, or I'm a spiritual coach. And I remember my son was little, and I took him to a new creche, and the head teacher was there, and we were chatting. So she said, "Oh, so what do you do for a living?" And I was about to say life coach, and I opened my mouth. I said, "I'm a psychic medium." She goes, "Oh wow, I love psychic mediums." And I was like shocked. I thought, "Priscilla, what did you say?" But it was meant to be, because then
Yeah.
I thought, you know what, I'm going to say who I am, whether people like it or not, and don't accept it, or they accept it. And I've had many a time when people have, offered me a little card to say Jesus is going to save me. I said, yes, I know. I've got a personal hotline to him, so I don't need to. Whereas other people are a lot more accepting of the gift. And
Yeah.
I called the family witch for many years by family members. And I always used to find it quite unusual, because I have this gift and I've had it for a long time, and people don't believe in it. Oh, no, 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 this is not for me. I'm religious and I don't follow this path. But when the shit hits the fan, they're the first ones to phone you up and say, oh, can you talk to your angels for me? Yeah.
Yeah, they do that. I know. And to be
It's
honest, I learned now not to hide what I am doing, not with my family, but with other people, to kind of feel it out when it's safe to say what I am
yes,
doing, and what they kind of able to accept. So as you are saying, sometimes I do feel I can open up about what I am doing, but other times it's just better to say maybe I am a visual storyteller or a multi-passionate creative, and if they want more, then they can ask about it. So it is difficult to
yes.
stand out all the time.
You can be creative in your in how you describe yourself. You can be quite creative.
Yes, yes. I do believe I am creative. I am a visionary in some way. And I realized that my creativity is quite different from others. Um, my partner, his creativity is more about what he learned and how he can adapt it to different situations. And my creativity is like coming out of thin air. Like I just feel that would be nice like that, or I should be doing it
Yes.
this way, and it's complementing each other. It's working out really well. But being creative is really a gift, and I believe everyone has creativity. Just they have a very interesting concept about creativity, like only artists or poets or dancers could be creative. That's not true. Anyone can be creative. Even the mental creativity is such an amazing gift. Just people have a misconception about what creativity is. That's what I found.
Yeah. Exactly, because everybody has got these gifts and abilities, and I say the same thing about intuition and psychic stuff as well. We're all born with it. We're all born with the ability to see,
Yes.
and to foresee. And it's only when we reach a certain age that we can start going to school and we start putting the little, cover on our eyes, and not, informing to the genre of life, and getting to our little box, and we close the lid. And I realized that I never did that. I never had that need to put myself into the little box. But I was also very cautious, because I've had this gift all my life. I was very cautious about who I shared my gifts with and my
Yes.
abilities with, because not everybody, as you know, understands it or
Yes.
appreciates it. But
Yes.
in later years, I thought, oh, well, what the heck? I'm going to just live my best life. You like me, you don't like me, understand what I do or don't understand what I do. You have to be true to who you are. And I think that's where your authenticity comes as a human being, is when you live your truth.
Absolutely. And that's such an amazing word you just mentioned, authenticity, because working with many clients, that's what they are searching for. They realize there
Yes.
is like a tension between who they are and who they feel they can be. And they just don't know how to create that bridge between the two of you, how to get to become authentic. And this is it exactly, the courage to be different, because we are conditioned living in a way that we need to go with the crowds, we need to fit into boxes. I don't fit into any boxes ever. You don't fit into boxes. So what happens with us? Why we need to be looked down on, or made, why they try to make us feel like we are doing something wrong, or we are the odd ones? I don't think so.
Yes.
I see so many people who I believe they are odd, and they don't use their psychic abilities. So it's a very interesting judgment that we receive, and most of my clients don't dare to listen to their intuition, their inner gifts, because they are being judged, and that's so wrong.
Yeah. And they've been programmed in
Yes.
society to be in that box. And
Yeah.
I've just had the thought. I said, now we've climbed out of our box, we've put the lid on it, and we're standing on it as a soapbox. So we're
Yeah.
standing on top of our boxes, on our soapboxes. We're not inside them anymore. We're on top of them,
Yeah.
and we're able to see where we're going, in a sense. And I think a lot of people don't have that, because they just get programmed. You've got to do this, be a sheep, follow along and do as you're told, behave as you're supposed to behave. Don't think outside the box. Don't be original. Don't be authentic.
Exactly, exactly. I do believe that certain people, those of us like you and me who are standing up for who we actually have a mission to show others this is part of our soul's journey, what is possible.
Yes.
And I think this is like, I do believe we are light workers. We just need to shine our light so bright, so the people who need us will find us. And we don't need to change everyone, or have them transform their lives, just those who are ready for it. And I've made peace with this. And I am so happy when someone reaches out and says, can you please help? So it's a very
Yes.
nice way of looking at the world, and not from like what they would like us to be, or what they expect us
Yes.
to be. Yeah.
Exactly. I used to always call myself a gatekeeper. I used to open the gate for people to walk through. I'm not there to do the stuff for you. I'm not there to take the journey with you, but I'm there to open the gate and say to you, okay, here, this is your potential. This is where you can go. And I feel like it's quite important to be a gatekeeper.
Yeah, that's a very, very amazing way of describing it. I never thought about it this way, but yeah, exactly. That's what we do. The way I see it usually, that my client is walking her path or his path. I mainly work with women, and I am joining them on that short journey when we walk together, to show them what is possible. And then I say hello, and they just keep going, and moving forward with their life. So yeah, I believe they need us to show the path, and then they are capable of walking it on their own. So you are right, you are the gatekeeper. And yeah, I love this metaphor.
So, Right. If people want to get hold of you, I've got your email address. I'm going to pop it up. So if people would like to get hold of Eva, so it's eva.maria.hunt@gmail.com. And Eva's got a wonderful little gift for everybody. If they quote the show, Psychic Talk, she's willing to give them a free 15-minute introductory call and just explain a little bit what you can offer in that free 15-minute call.
Okay, so if anyone is interested in working with me or finding out what I am doing, this 15 minutes call is about them getting to know a little bit of what I do, what I can offer when they share with me what they feel they need help with. And we can see whether we resonate with each other, whether we can connect with each other, because that's the key. And if we do, I definitely can suggest certain ways to move forward after the 15 minutes free call. And they can decide whether they want to do it with me or not. So it really is just getting to know each other a little bit and see how I can help them, to tell them how I can help in that certain issue.
Yeah, because sometimes it's important when you are needing to make life changes in your life, and you've got to find the right person that you're going to resonate with. And sometimes just a 15-minute call can change that for you. And you can say, oh, yes, I really connect with this person, or no, this is not the person for me.
Yes, and I also work in a way very much intuitively. So I can tell them what is the best way forward. So maybe some people would be more comfortable to just receive coaching or mentoring. Some others could be very comfortable with going deeper in the spiritual path and learn certain energy tools. Maybe they would like some more healing, and I can combine in one session the healing, the reading, the coaching. Maybe sometimes it's law of attraction coaching or how to manage their energies. So this call is really helping me to see what they need, what I can offer, and whether we are a good match.
Exactly, because it's sometimes it's not everybody is as connected as others are. I know
Yes.
that even myself, some people will come to me for a reading, but then they'll go to somebody else for a reading instead, because it's just the resonance that you have with a person and the message
Yes.
that you have to give them and the way that you have to help them. It's important.
Yes, absolutely.
So it's been such a great pleasure to have a little chat with you, and it's been a little bit of a while, a couple of years since we last connected and chatted. So I want to just say thank you very much, Eva, for joining us and sharing your story and your enlightenment and your gifts with us. And I do hope that whoever would like to connect with her, please just, when you are connecting with Eva on her email address, please just quote that you've heard it from the Psychic Talk Show, and she will then offer you the free 15-minute introductory call. So it's my great pleasure. Thank you very much, Eva, for joining us.
Thank you so much again for inviting me. I am so honored, and it was such an amazing time with you, and hopefully the people who listened in enjoyed it too.
Thank you. And click like and subscribe to the channel to get reminders on upcoming talks and guests. So I'll see you again next week, same time, same place. Please feel free to join the YouTube channel and to look up Eva on Facebook and on YouTube as well. What is your YouTube channel called?
It's called Moon Goddess Oracle, and the YouTube channel is specifically for Virgos. So I channel readings mainly in love for Virgos. Moon Goddess Oracle.
Fantastic. So I look forward to everybody joining up and clicking like and subscribe to her channel as well. So thanks everybody for joining us, and we'll see you again, same time, same place next week.
Bye.
Have a good evening. Bye-bye.